First Indian Empire. About 320 BC, a soldier named Chandragupta Maurya seized power in India. He started the Mauryan Empire, the First Indian Empire, and extended it to the borders of Persia. Chandragupta lived a life of luxury, but he soon got tired of that life and became a monk, a person who devotes his life to a religious order or group. Read more about Chandragupta's life in the biography on page 135. His grandson, Ashoka, took power in about 270 BC. By that time, the Mauryan Empire stretched southward across the Deccan Plateau. The government was highly organized. It controlled many aspects of life, such as how artisans worked and how doctors treated their patients. India had a strong group of civil service workers, a powerful army, and even an army of spies to keep an eye on what was going on in the empire. Ashoka had a special way of communicating with his people. Remember the stone column you read about at the beginning of the lesson? Ashoka used these columns to mark the territory of the empire, or religious sites. He also had proclamations, or announcements, and news of the empire inscribed on them. These rock markers explained Ashoka's policies of tolerance and nonviolence. Rulers after Ashoka were less successful at keeping the empire under control, and the Mauryan Empire ended about 185 BC. Conflicts between regions broke out in India. These regions ruled themselves until AD 320, when the Guptas finally took control. Review. How would Ashoka's rock markers encourage regions of his empire to be unified? Draw conclusions. Arts and sciences. The Gupta Empire lasted for about 200 years. During this time, India made great achievements in science, such as astronomy. Mathematics expanded with the development of the number system we use today. This system includes 9 digits, 0, and the decimal. Literature, poetry, and art flourished. Sculptures made during this period set the style for Indian art that followed. Architects designed elaborate temples made of stone instead of wood. Higher education became available, but only to men. Sanskrit became the language of the wealthy. India's economy began to improve along with trade. Textiles, silk, cotton, and linen became especially valuable exports. By the 5th century, more people from the north arrived, the Huns. By the mid-6th century, the Huns had taken power from the Guptas and seized much of India. The Gupta Empire came to an end. Review. List some of the developments of the Gupta Empire in India. Main idea and details. Summarize the lesson. Circa 1500 BC. Aryan people migrated to the Indus River Valley from Central Asia. 550 BC. The Persian Empire spread from the Mediterranean Sea to the Indus River Valley. Circa 320 BC. India's first empire, the Mauryan Empire, united almost the entire Indian subcontinent. Biography. Chandragupta Maurya, circa 360 BC to 297 BC. Traditional stories tell us that Chandragupta Maurya was the son of the king of Magadha. The king died in battle before Chandragupta was born. Chandragupta grew up as a servant to a hunter. One day, a politician noticed the boy's leadership skills and decided he should be trained to be a soldier. As a young commander, Chandragupta organized a successful rebellion against the Greeks. Several years later, he led an army of 600,000. His empire soon stretched across most of India. As emperor, Chandragupta lived a life of luxury in his palace. But Chandragupta did not ignore the people who lived in his kingdom. His people benefited from increased trade, better roads, and improved irrigation systems. Looking after the interests of his people made him happy. A handbook written at the time described the rewards of kingship. In the happiness of his subjects lies his happiness. In their welfare, his welfare. Whatever pleases his subjects, he shall consider as good. According to legend, Chandragupta eventually gave up his life of wealth and glory. He lived his last years as a monk, and died as the result of a long fast, a period in which a person eats little or no food. Learn from biographies. Chandragupta's rebellion against Greek rule took a group effort. He gathered local rulers who set aside their differences to fight against the Greeks. How do you think Chandragupta convinced local rulers to join in a group effort? Biofact. Chandragupta exchanged 500 elephants for territory in present-day Afghanistan.